I'm Michelle Carroll, and welcome to Lex Cura Clinical Insights. The CMS payroll-based journal is one of the most powerful and underused sources of evidence in nursing home litigation. It provides reported staffing hours by day and staff category, allowing us to look beyond what a facility says about its staffing and examine the hours it actually reported. When PBJ data is placed alongside a fall, pressure injury, medication delay, failure to respond, or other harm event, it can reveal whether the resident was harmed during a period of unusually low staffing. That does not establish negligence by itself, but it may provide an important part of the clinical and operational story. In this episode, I'll walk you through how to read PBJ data, what the 2024 federal staffing rule proposed, and what subsequently happened to it, and how to connect a potential staffing failure to the care that was missed and the harm that followed. Okay, so here's something to think about. In nursing homes across the US, understaffing isn't just a problem, it's a crisis. And now, with the 2024 staffing mandate, we're seeing a push to address it. But here's the kicker. Proving understaffing isn't as simple as it sounds.
That's such an important point. It's not just about saying, hey, there aren't enough people working here. It's about having the data to back it up. And that's where PBJ data, payroll-based journal data, comes in. It's becoming a critical tool in holding facilities accountable.
Right, and PBJ data is fascinating because it was originally designed as a transparency tool for CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. It tracks staffing levels in nursing homes, but now it's being used in legal cases to prove when facilities are falling short. It's like this unexpected pivot from policy to courtroom evidence.
Exactly. And what's so interesting is that this data isn't just for lawyers or regulators anymore. Families are starting to use it too. They're looking at staffing levels to decide where to place their loved ones or even to raise concerns about the care their loved ones are receiving.
That's a huge shift. But let's break this down a bit. Why is staffing such a critical issue in nursing homes? It's not just about having enough people on the floor. It's about having the right people with the right training. And when facilities are understaffed, the consequences can be devastating.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about things like missed medications, residents not being turned in bed, which can lead to bed sores, or even something as basic as meals being delayed. These are real, tangible impacts on people's lives. And the thing is, proving that understaffing caused these issues isn't always straightforward.
That's where PBJ data becomes so important. It provides an objective way to measure staffing levels. But it's not as simple as just pulling the numbers. For example, the data shows scheduled hours, not necessarily the hours actually worked. If someone calls out sick or leaves early, that might not show up in the data.
Right, and then there's the question of what constitutes adequate staffing. That's not a one-size-fits-all answer. It depends on the needs of the residents. A facility with a lot of residents who need high levels of care is going to need more staff than one with mostly independent residents.
Exactly. And that's one of the challenges with the 2024 staffing mandate. It sets minimum staffing requirements, but those are just that, minimums. They might not be enough for every facility. Plus, there's the issue of enforcement. How do you make sure facilities are actually meeting these standards?
That's a great question. And it's not just about enforcement, it's also about resources. A lot of nursing homes are already struggling financially. Adding more staff isn't cheap, and some facilities might genuinely want to comply but simply can't afford to.
That's true. But at the same time, we can't ignore the fact that understaffing has real consequences. It's a delicate balance. And I think the focus on PBJ data is a step in the right direction because it brings some accountability to the table.
Definitely. And it's also an opportunity for facilities to be proactive. By analysing their own PBJ data, they can identify areas where they're falling short and take steps to address those issues before they become problems.
That's a great point. It's not just about avoiding lawsuits, it's about providing better care. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Making sure that nursing home residents are treated with the dignity and respect they deserve.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to remember that while the 2024 staffing mandate is a federal requirement, it's really just a baseline. Facilities should be aiming to exceed those standards, not just meet them.
Agreed. And for families who are navigating this system, the takeaway is to be informed. Look at the PBJ data, ask questions, and don't be afraid to advocate for your loved ones. Transparency and accountability are what drive change.
That's so true, and I think one of the big takeaways here is that this isn't just a policy issue, it's a human issue. It's about the quality of care that people receive in some of the most vulnerable moments of their lives.
Well said. And on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. From the role of PBJ data improving understaffing to the challenges of implementing the 2024 staffing mandate, it's clear that this is a complex issue with no easy solutions. But it's also an issue that's too important to ignore.
Absolutely. Thanks for the conversation today. It's such an important topic, and I'm glad we could shed some light on it.
Me too. Until next time. Staffing evidence becomes meaningful when it is connected to the care a resident actually needed. PBJ data may show that staffing was unusually low, but the analysis cannot end with a number. We must compare the reported staffing with the resident census, acuity, care plan, facility assessment, internal staffing expectations, and the specific clinical duties that were delayed or omitted. We then ask whether that failure contributed to the resident's injury. It is also important to distinguish the staffing standards proposed in 2024 from the requirements that are currently enforceable. The federal numerical minimums and 24-hour registered nurse requirement established by that rule were subsequently repealed. Nevertheless, PBJ data remains valuable evidence when evaluated alongside applicable state requirements, existing federal obligations, facility policies, and the needs of the residents in the facility. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Lex Cura Clinical Insights. I'm Michelle Carroll, founder and chief clinical strategist of Lex Cura Summit. To learn more, visit lexcurasummit.com. Lex Cura Summit, Clinical Intelligence for Better Litigation Decisions.